Hello, I'm Justice Sidney, and I'm a senior at Southwest, and I'm in the fashion program. I've been making clothes for about 3 years because I didn't start Southwest in my freshman year, and I joined in my sophomore year. So it's only been about 2.5 to 3 years that I've actually been making clothes. I only started making clothes at Southwest, but I was inspired by my love for fashion and my fashion drawings that I started in freshman year before I came to this school. No one in particular has inspired me to start doing this, but someone that's continued to inspire me to do this is my fashion teacher, Mr. Harbison. He's very encouraging, if not a little strict on his practices, but that's shaped me to be someone that strives for a state close to perfection with what I do in terms of my schoolwork and in my fashion classes. Some experience that I've had while making clothes is complete frustration, I'm gonna be honest. Just because it's really easy to oversimplify it and then find out what you've been doing is wrong. And because of that, it seems easy, but it isn't as easy as you think it is. So it's hard to get down on yourself. But an important lesson that I've learned is to, 1, be patient with myself, and 2, give myself as much time as possible to work on things. I don't like to procrastinate when it comes to my fashion class or making clothes, because I know for a fact that it'll just stress me out in the long term. Some factors that have affected me while making clothes is my lack of experience. Just because I started Southwest in my sophomore year and not my freshman year, all of my classmates had a year of experience in terms of fashion terms or techniques or hand sewing and all that stuff. So lack of experience is probably a factor that's affected me the most. My favorite thing about making clothing is seeing the product come together. It's really uninspiring and hard to continue when I first start out because I can't see any clothing take shape. But once I can start to see the thing that I'm making come together, it starts to get really inspiring, and I'm encouraged to finish making what I'm doing, and I just finish with a lot more energy. Any struggles that I've had making clothing is procrastinating and being uninspired, just because, like I said, for me personally, making clothes is harder than I thought it would be. It's really easy to become uninspired and just put off what I'm doing for a later date. So I think that's one thing that I've really struggled with, but I've become a lot better at it from sophomore to senior year. Any realizations that I've had or anything like that while making clothing is probably that the people that make clothing do a lot more work than we think they do. It's not just sewing stuff together. It's the technical part. Fashion creation involves a lot of math. It involves a lot of perfection in terms of cutting and outlining and all that. And a lot of people don't get paid enough for it. And I think that's a realization that I've had, that people that make this sort of stuff deserve a lot more than what they do. And my life would be a lot different if I didn't start making clothing, because it's given me a really big sense of patience. I got a lot of patience from taking fashion classes and making my own clothing, because it's so easy to get in your head about things and rush things and get impatient and frustrated, that if you don't take a step back and breathe and just have patience for the project that you're working on and yourself, you're never going to get anywhere. So I don't think I would be as